Hey, just another quick message of stop overthinking. I was reminded of this myself, and I actually had a friend reach out to me last night that's been going through a really hard time for quite a few months, and I've been trying to help her through her process, and you know who you are. So hi, my love. Just remember, stop overthinking. And I'm an Aquarius, so we think a lot, like way too much. If you give me an option, I'm like, well, I don't know what the good choice is here, but I'm here to remind you there's really no right or wrong choice. The way that you live your life, if you're okay with it, that's fine. If other people are putting you down for it, put them to the wayside, ignore what they're saying to you, because a lot of people, everyone has an opinion, and not everyone is going to agree with your life. And we're all on different processes, healing processes in our own journey. So when it comes down to it, you seriously have to get out of your head. And it's really hard, especially when you're alone, because all you have are memories, right? Because if you're not living daily, or you can't stand your life daily, all you're doing is thinking about the past. And this used to be something that I swear it was only done on people's deathbed. You saw your life flash before your eyes, right? And now these days, it's like every second of every day, either people are getting sedated and trying to quiet those thoughts. They don't know how to handle every choice that they've made. And you have to understand, there is no right or wrong. And this is something that is actually new to me, of stop punishing myself. Because for the longest time, I took my parents' relationship failing on me, because I moved out of the house. I'm the baby. And when I moved out, they started talking about divorce. They never got a divorce, but either way, I still took that responsibility on myself. Also, like when I had to end up leaving my kid's dad, I took responsibility for his actions and kept saying, I could have done better. I could have this or that. I beat myself up for leaving someone who was abusive to me. And now I look at it, that's ironic that I've taken so much blame for everyone around me, which means they're not responsible for their own actions, their own behavior, their own choices. And I took all of that on myself, and I have suffocated myself believing that they're not responsible. Now, I'm not here to judge anybody. The only person I'm here to watch out for is me. So I get to pick and choose who's allowed in my life, regardless if it's my children that are mad at me, or my parents who don't support me, or teachers who labeled me before I ever even got into a chance of making my own decisions. It's just people of the past. It's okay to let the wind kind of blow away whatever it is they said or did to us. And like I said, gotta get out of your head. And I know it's hard, because believe me, I have packed bags and I have lived in there. And I have torn myself to pieces. And so much anxiety and stress comes from, should I? Shouldn't I? Was that right? Was that wrong? How can I? But what if I did it this way? I mean, just all these questions, rather than just going with the flow. And about a year ago, I was in a totally different state of mind. I was actually more free from different thought processes and patterns from the past. And then at some point, I'm not sure what happened, I started beating myself up again. And I even had a thought over the weekend that, what if I push the darkness so far away, I become the darkness? And then it turned into, how do I get away from becoming that which I ran from, being toxic. And after all of that, I had to come to the conclusion that, guess what? I'm toxic. But we all are. So I have to embrace that side of me that says, hey, I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to support myself. I'm going to make mistakes. And that's fine. I'm human. I'm going to learn. And if I'm not learning, maybe I need to reevaluate the process of how I'm living. And it's hard because ultimately we don't want to take blame. We don't want to take responsibility for things that don't work out in our lives. But when it comes down to it, when you can take that and say, you know what, but I'm not going to beat myself up for that. It is what it is, and I did what I did. And I am who I am, and I'm going to change. But understand, you can kind of be that living entity that change creates growth, right? Or you can be something that's dead inside and now you're rotting. So instead of giving in so early in life, understand that it's okay. Everything is not going to always work out for you. If it did, would you really keep trying in life? Would you just be like, oh, sit back, give me what I want? Because that's not the kind of life that anybody should want to lead. You want to live in a sense that it's okay to learn from successes and failures. It's okay to have your life go in a wave, right? Because if not, you're flatlined. And then where's that taking you? To a moment of not experiencing everything you could possibly experience. Because life is so much more than just happiness or acceptance. And at some point, we're all going to learn the lessons of feeling grief, feeling remorse, feeling let down. And it's okay, embrace those moments, but don't be consumed by those moments and go, I'm a failure. Because you're only a failure if you allow yourself to stay stuck and refuse to try to improve your life. So when it comes down to it, if you're considering everything from the past and you're letting it destroy you and your heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, everything about you, then you're keeping yourself stuck in the muck rather than understanding, okay, you're going to be in the muck to begin to understand how it's keeping you stuck. Because you're going to have to feel the darkness around you. You know, when you are a light that helps bring happiness to the world, that acknowledges other people, that allows them to feel seen, heard, and alive, there are certain aspects to your life that they're not always so fulfilling, because, of course, that behavior is not always reciprocated back to you. At some points, I have felt like the Lone Ranger or the black sheep or the person that's not understood. And it's taken me to understand I'm not here to be understood, to be validated as being alive. And that all the things I have done in my past were stepping stones to learning, to becoming the best version of myself. And I'm still working on it daily. I still have to sit here and go, okay, I did that. But in a sense, I don't beat myself up for something I did that I can't even say I shouldn't have, because had I not, I wouldn't have experienced life, right? So if I'm sitting here placing so much judgment on myself and tearing myself up until I'm leaving myself in grief and just feeling stuck and not knowing how to function, I'm debilitating myself from the ability to actually live and enjoy life. And that's one thing that a lot of us have forgotten, that laughter, that happiness, that acceptance. And the one thing is, you have to accept yourself before you can ask anyone else to do that, because you're going to attract people that are in the same vibe that you are. So if you're beating yourself up daily, you're going to bring people in that are going to back that up for you. They're going to beat you down. And I'm not talking physically, but they're going to have that sort of animosity towards you that you hold for yourself. So try to get in a different mindset that, I did do whatever it is you did, but don't stay stuck and go, why? Why do I do that? Why am I a shitty person? Why do I care only about my feelings? Just all these negative thoughts, because negative thinking attracts negative vibes. And I know it's really hard to stay positive, especially on days where it's rainy and gloomy and it's just the vibe of what's around you. And then even like I mentioned in the video earlier, the news, the things that other people are doing, it just seems to be the vibe of disappointment, competition, hatred, fear. A lot of people don't want to be seen for what they really are because there's a mask that's on. And that is being afraid of being judged. But if you begin to understand only you are judging yourself, you can help yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody else has to say about you, because honestly, they don't know the whole story. I've always said there's 3 sides to every story: your story, my story, and the truth. Somewhere in the middle of all of that is going to be an inkling of what really happened, and people's concepts change over time. Hold on. So I really don't know where I left off, because I ended up talking to somebody making a reservation, and they were just reminding me about how there's always this judgment, right? There's this concept of how people view other people, and he was talking about the Renaissance Festival. And for all of you that don't know what this is, it is a like a fair that you go to where everyone dresses in Renaissance attire, and it's, oh, squire and lord, me lord, things like this, that they stay in character, right? So he was talking about how after the park closes, that he's gone in the back with people that you can camp at this place. So you're with the workers. So the leather workers and the blacksmiths and the people who stay in character, right? So these people do not come out of character, period. They love this. This is what they live for. So anyways, I was saying, yeah, my cousin always has a campsite back there. And he said, man, it freaked me out when I went back there, because they had a huge bonfire and they're all banging on bongos and just craziness going on. And I said, yeah. And he said, just witches everywhere. And I was like, but those are my kind of people, because they don't wear a mask, which they show you who they are right off the bat. So this is kind of, it goes in accordance with what I'm talking about, that you're safer being yourself than you are putting on a show for everyone else. So when you wear this mask, that's where that anxiety comes from, because it's like, they're going to see me, they're going to judge me, they're going to, all these things. Just remind yourself, it doesn't matter. No one's opinion matters. But got someone coming in, so peace, love, and light. Talk to y'all later. Bye.